Now, if there's nothing else, I'd like to get to Godfather Minute. My name is Alex Robinson.
And I'm Andy Robinson.
And we are two brothers who host the Godfather Minute. We take a random minute of the Godfather and we talk about it
1 minute at a time.
Behind the scenes information and a lot of silly jokes and bad impressions. So strap yourselves in. Because we were talking about minute 27.
Already
Is that
up
right?
to
27?
Yeah, we're already up to 27.
Beginning our second half of the year of doing the show.
If you haven't figured it out, yet, I'm practicing my gangster voice, Alex.
Oh, that's a good one. Is that like a more Weasley Fredo?
Yeah. Would you ever trust a guy in your crew who talked like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll get the job done. Yeah, just let me know.
I don't judge a man by the tone of his voice. I judge him by the content of his character.
Okay. All right. Would you promote someone who spoke like that to lieutenant status?
No. Lieutenant.
Well, Alex, here's your Italian lesson for the day.
Sí.
E minuto
numero
27. Sette.
27. That's easy.
27.
27.
You got it.
Minuto numero 27. Sette.
Yeah, you got it.
Oh, close enough.
Yeah.
So there you go. My Italian proceeds.
Bravo. Bravissimo.
I couldn't remember the ones from last week.
Grazie.
It reminds me, I don't think we've mentioned Joey Zaza in the past 2 weeks.
Joey who?
Joey Zaza.
Hey, by the way, how can listeners send us an audio recording of them saying Zaza?
Let's see. Well, I guess
I'm asking because we would love to just drop them into the podcast.
Yeah.
Why not?
Sure. Yeah. So how can people do that?
Can they do that? Can they email us? If they can email us, they can send us a little audio file.
Well, even though we have been at this for half a year now, I don't think we officially have an email set up yet.
Oh boy.
So
that's because we don't want the feds to track us. You learned that from Don Corleone, didn't you?
It's true. We keep your friends close and your email address closer. So, you know what? Let me look into setting that up.
And since you're looking into it, try to find out if Zaza@gmail is available.
Oh, totally. Oh, yeah. We should totally just get a Zmail of
just Zaza@gmail.
Okay, I'll look into it. Somebody surely had to have taken a. I'll get Zaza.
And I think it's Zasa.
Yeah, that makes
although
sense.
we always pronounce it with Z, all Z. He's all Z's, that guy.
All Z's all the time.
Z's.
Well, we're talking about minute 27.
Uh-huh.
And minute 27 starts off with the Don. Mm-hmm. With Don Corleone saying, now, if there's nothing else, I'd like to go to my daughter's wedding.
That's right. He does not use her name. He says, my daughter.
Yeah. Although in this case, it seems different to me. Because in this case, it's kind of emphasizing... Like, it's my daughter's wedding day, as opposed to Connie's wedding day, you know what I mean? So it's like emphasizing his father status.
Yeah.
So, and then we get to the finale of the wedding, which is, of course, the taking of the picture.
Yeah.
And we know Carlo and Connie are still there, so clearly the cake has not been cut yet, because they're leaving right after that. And so, they're going to retake the family photo.
And so they're all lined up for the photo.
And Mama reminds Carlo that they're taking the photo.
Yeah, and it's very strange because she says, what does she say? Something like,
she says, Carlo, we're taking the picture.
Yeah, but he's standing there. I see Connie kiss him right before she says that. Is she saying that because she's saying they shouldn't be kissing?
Here's what if you look at her, if you look closely at her lips, she's not saying that.
Oh, really?
It's like dubbed in, and my guess is much like we were discussing last week. I feel like they put that in there to explain it to dullards in the audience.
What, that they were taking a family
like, we're
picture?
taking the picture. Like,
really?
What else possibly explanation could there be for it? There's no, it doesn't, it's not like any...
Do you see Mama's mouth move at all?
Mama's mouth is moving.
Okay.
But it sounds very either dubbed in or that like they took it from another...
I wonder what she was originally saying when she was standing there.
I mean,
you know what? I think I know. I think she said, "I talked to Barzini."
Wow.
Yeah, in that voice too.
So she's really the secret one.
She's the way that Barzini got into the family.
She's like, I spoke to Barzini. I spoke to Barzini. Yeah, I'm guessing they were all just doing random kind of like, oh, let's get ready for the picture chit chat. But for some reason, they needed to have clarified that they were taking the picture.
Okay, I guess. Or maybe that was sort of a cue they needed for Michael to go and grab Kay, because that's the next part of the scene.
What do you mean that the actress said it so that Al Pacino would know it was time to go?
No, like I guess from a viewer's standpoint,
yeah.
Mama says it, and then all of a sudden you see Michael. It sort of prompts Michael to go and get Kay. I don't know. It's a stretch.
Yeah,
probably not.
I mean, if you take that line out, they're all standing there, and then Michael goes out, and no, Michael. So maybe people wouldn't know what was going on. Like, where is he? Why is he dragging her somewhere?
Yeah,
What's going on?
Maybe
it's such a weird thing to say. So from now on, we have to make a solemn brotherly pledge that whenever you and I are posing for a picture together that someone else is taking, we have to say, like, Andy, we're taking the picture.
Okay, we'll do it.
All right, we'll try to remember.
Do we do it in Mama's voice?
Well, the accent.
Or in Mo Green's voice.
Yeah, Mo Green's voice. We're taking the picture.
We're taking the picture. And I can make the deal and take the picture.
It sounds like more like Tessio when you do it.
I've got two voices, you know that. I've got a pirate and
you do a good Luca Brasi. I'll give you that one.
And I'm all shy about it.
So then he pulls.
Interestingly, now after this podcast episode, I'm going to go alone and practice my Luca Brasi, much like Luca Brasi was practicing for the wedding. Because now you pumped me all up.
So that would be you acting like Luca Brasi, acting like Vito Corleone, etc.
May your accent sound like a Mo Green accent.
Like this. I talked to Buzzy. I bet Luca Brasi was a good impressionist.
The actor or the
character? Because you figure he had to do a lot of undercover operations and stuff. He probably had to play different characters. And
I heard
when
he first approached Tattaglia, he was going to use the voice. Yeah, I'm disgruntled with the Corleones. I'm looking for work with another family.
See, I wouldn't trust that guy.
So you do judge him based on his tone of voice.
What are you talking about?
Okay, I see.
So he calls Connie, not Connie, he calls Kay into the picture, and
she resists at first. She's like, "Oh no, Michael."
Yeah. So do you think it's because what is the meaning behind her resisting?
Well, I do think it's symbolic. The last opportunity for her not to get involved with this family.
Yeah, like a second to last, because she does when Michael comes back.
Oh, that's true.
She could easily just say, maybe by that she's too scared. She doesn't want to.
Boy, and he was away for over a year. That's a long time.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Probably the formality of it. It's a very formal wedding picture. She's not a part of the family.
It does indicate a certain seriousness in the relationship that clearly this is the first time she met the family.
Yeah.
So they have a family, lowercase f and capital F family.
Oh yeah.
So.
Well, now I'm wondering. I should listen back to it. Are you sure Mama says Carlo were taking the picture? Because maybe she says something like, "Kay, stay out of the picture."
Well, according to
I did that with the gangster voice. Okay, you should stay out of the picture if you know what's good for you.
A lot of buffers. According to the annotated Godfather, the complete screenplay, she does say, "Carlo, we're taking the picture."
Yeah, okay.
So
maybe the original line that she was mouthing was, "Kay, stay out of the picture."
Oh yeah, or Michael, do you want Kay? Do you want Kay in the picture? It gets more exaggerated.
Sounded like Gene Stapleton. Archie, we're taking the picture.
Another 70s icon.
Yeah. But Kay finally succumbs and gets into that family picture. Mike just drags her right in.
I want to give a shout out to over on Facebook. We have the Godfather group that we put together called Fredo Corleone's Mickey Mouse Nightclub. Have we ever talked about that on the show?
I don't think so.
Maybe we'll do the bonus content.
We probably
today,
should start talking about it.
But listener Grayson Shoes posted. He had an interesting thing from Diane Keaton's autobiography.
Oh, interesting. Lay it on us.
This is what she says. I'm not going to do her voice. Here's one I can't forget about the first Godfather. Dick Smith, the Academy Award-winning makeup artist, and Al Pacino. It was Dick Smith's idea to stick a 10-pound blonde wig on my head where it sat throughout the entire movie like a ton of bricks. I hated that wig almost as much as the red lipstick and starched broad-shouldered suits Theodoro Van Runkle designed for the period. I don't have a clue why I was cast as an elegant wasp. I'm convinced I would have been let go if it weren't for the fact that Paramount begged Francis Ford Coppola to fire Al until they were blown away by the rushes of Michael Corleone's assassination of Captain McCluskey.
Oh, wow.
Spoiler alert. Somehow I managed to slip under the radar. It wouldn't have made that much difference if I was replaced or not. I was just a blonde-wigged wasp in the Godfather's world. I was Kay in a role that I never related to, yet gave me what little I know of Al Pacino. I think they were dating for a while.
Oh, really?
Yeah. For me, the Godfathers, all three of them were about one thing, Al. It was as simple as that. As for the role of Kay, what epitomized it? The picture of a woman standing in a hallway waiting for permission to be seen by her husband. So,
very interesting. Was that Grayson? Person who posted that?
Yes, yeah, Grayson.
Well, thank you, Grayson.
Yes.
That's really interesting. I didn't know that was a wig.
I
seem a little naive now.
Well, I don't know. Well, when I was younger, I was always shocked, and it always seemed like cheating to me when I found out like an actor wore a wig.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You always expected them to have that hair.
Yeah, we're big Marx Brothers fans, and like the fact that Harpo, I think all three of them were wearing wigs by.
Oh my! I never knew that. Really?
I think Groucho had his hair in the earlier movies, but starting with the later like post. I think Day at the Races might have been the first one, maybe after that one. And Harpo was wearing a wig, and Chico was wearing a wig pretty much all throughout.
Oh my gosh, I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, it's funny when you see pictures of them without their wigs on. They look almost identical because they're, as...
You mean Harpo to Chico?
Harpo, Chico,
Identical
and Groucho all look very similar. Because they're all like bald old Jewish guys. Anyway, so yeah, so she's wearing a wig. And wonder, who do you think of the male actors? Who do you think is wearing a wig?
Wearing wigs? Oh.
Yeah. But we know Tom Hagen is at this point.
Oh, boy.
Or Robert Duvall is. I don't know if Tom Hagen is, or Robert Duvall
He is, right?
Yeah, you can definitely tell, because this part of the movie, his hairline is much thicker, and then as...
Fredo's hair is pretty thin in the movie, so I don't think he is.
I feel like he's wearing a toupee.
Okay.
It's particularly in these scenes. I think once he's out in Vegas, I think that's John Cazale. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah.
His real hair. So, yeah.
That's fascinating because I never, looking back, I was totally fooled until this podcast. You're telling me they were wearing wigs. Like even Tom Hagen, Robert Duvall, I never saw through it.
Well, I just know because he's generally a bald actor. Yeah. And having seen him
even in the early 70s, I guess.
Yeah, he was always kind of had very thin hair.
Fascinating.
So, yeah. So later on in the movie, I think it's his real hairline. But, anyway, we'll have to keep an eye out for that to see who else. Frankie Five Angels wears a wig throughout the whole
the movie.
Yeah, he had a lush head of golden curls, and he had to put on like a bald wig.
Oh, he was the opposite. Then he was wearing a bald wig.
Yeah, bald pate.
Oh, so funny.
At the end of every day, he'd peel it off, and his golden locks go cascading down his shoulders.
He originally wanted, maybe that's why he replaced Clemenza, the actor who played Clemenza. Because I heard a rumor Clemenza insisted on, he wanted to be in Godfather 2, but he insisted on showing his real hair, which is his long, hippie, early 70s.
Oh, it's true. He was a real counterculture Clemenza. So, also, I'm kidding about the Frankie Five Angels thing. I don't think he was wearing a bald pate to cover up his wig of golden curls. I think they were auburn. So, careful if you're in a trivia contest or something. So,
his original name was Frankie Five Wigs.
Because every day, Monday through Friday, he wore a different wig every day. He
rotated him through.
The weekend, all natural.
Let's hit him now while we got the hair pieces.
While we got the wigs. So,
maybe that was a message when you would kill someone, you leave the wig, and then that means that you not only killed them, but you knew all along they had a wig.
I'm really bad with male wigs.
Oh my god! Well, you're stunning me this podcast episode. I didn't know any of these.
Well, I wouldn't know the Tom Hagen one unless I saw him already with that. I knew he had thinning hair, but like. you always hear about William Shatner's toupees or like Burt Reynolds' toupees. I never would have. I mean, obviously more recently because the guy's 800 years old and he still has a thick head of golden brown curls. But like Burt Reynolds, like in the like 80s, like Cannonball Run, I never would have guessed. He
Never
was
would
wearing
have
a
known.
toupee. Never.
I know, and that was before toupee wig piece technology really was advanced. That was before the Hair Club for Men and all of those advancements.
Propecia and
yeah.
Well,
lay it on me since we're talking about this.
That's that term, wigdar.
What's that mean?
It's if you can tell if someone's wearing a wig, you have a wigdar.
Wigdar.
Yeah, I didn't make that up. It's from another podcast.
Oh, it is? All right.
Yeah. So anyway.
Is there like toupee?
I think it just falls all
thing.
under the
Okay.
the same category. Yes.
Well, lay it on me now. And I need you to shoot straight here. Was
I'm your
Marlon
concierge, I'll tell you. I'll be honest.
Was Marlon Brando wearing a wig?
You know what? I don't think so.
Should we research it? Next episode, we'll
reveal
reveal it.
Yeah, sure.
And I'm kind of setting you up because I wrote a new musical piece called
musical hairpiece.
You Asked, We Answered.
Oh,
and so maybe we'll feature it next time when we research something and share the answer.
Wait, doesn't someone else have to ask us, or one of us asked?
I know it really doesn't make sense.
Someone asked and we answered.
Oh, no, I got to re-record it. Someone asked and we answered,
or we asked and we answered.
Yeah, we could just put it in a passive voice. It was asked. And now it's answered.
Asked and answered.
Asked and answered. There you go.
So, I was going to talk about the family photo.
Let's talk about the family photo. And I have a few things too about some follow-up wedding scenes in the book.
Okay. Yeah, because this is the end. Well, yeah, I guess we can. This is more or less the end of the wedding.
Yeah, so this is the last shot.
So the first thing I noticed when they have the family thing now, I noticed is like that's Johnny Complainer's future wife in that scene.
Oh, in the photo?
Yeah, she's one of the twin girls that's in the photo.
Is Johnny in the photo too?
Johnny is not in the photo. In that photo, anyway. I think that one's only family members.
Oh, that's gnarly.
Even the bridesmaid is not in it. So I think that's I think it's specifically just the family.
Yeah.
And Kay, of course. So the actress's name is Jean Savarino Pesch.
Okay.
And she is in all 3 Godfather movies playing Francesca Corleone.
Wow.
And she originally had a scene in Godfather 2 where she was there with her husband, the guy who was to date her, and they were asking Michael's permission to continue seeing each other.
Oh, wow.
So it's kind of like the same scene as Connie and Merle, which I know we love that scene too.
Yeah.
But so it's a very similar thing, except in this case, Michael likes the guy because he's rich and he's not going to try to move.
But this is some other guy. This is not Johnny Fontaine.
It's not Johnny. No, that's when I was the guy in between. So I think this might have been her first husband, who she murdered.
What?
She ran over her first husband with a car.
Oh, on purpose?
Yeah, like because he was. She either found out or suspected that he was a rat for the feds.
Gosh!
So
and
when
she took
ran him over
took
with
the
a
step
car
to do that. Did she get permission to do
that? She's Sonny's daughter.
That's true. Hot-headed Sonny's daughter.
Yeah.
Do you think she got permission to do that, or she just?
I don't know. It is part of the novel, The Godfather Returns. I think so. Once I got up to reading that, I will give you more a full book report.
And so it's too bad for that husband of hers that Clemenza wasn't in the car at the time because he would. What was the character's name? The girl.
Francesca
He would have said, Francesca, watch your husband when you're backing out.
That's what gave her the idea. She heard it. She's like, backing out. That's it.
Backing out.
So I guess this is a good time to mention that on a bonus content, I plan on following up my book report on The Sicilian.
Excellent. Good.
And also talking about another book I'm reading, which could be relevant to our little show.
Very
here.
cool.
So,
don't forget, I'm going to quiz you on The Sicilian because last time you shared that you faked reading a book that a friend had recommended, and our listeners deserve integrity.
Yeah,
you said you'd read it.
We might need to take a little bit longer break in between recording this episode and the bonus content.
Don't worry, it's not a hard quiz. There are 20 multiple choice questions. Scantron, you have your number 2 pencil with you, right?
Of course, yeah. I even brought my number 1 pencil.
Really?
This is so important. I was like, I'm going to bring my number 1 pencil.
You purposely use the number 1 pencil so the test is invalidated. I guess you'll never know which answers.
Non-photo blue pencil. So if you want to hear my book report on the Sicilian,
I can't wait.
Then go to godfatheraminute.com/support. Sign up, become a member, and stay tuned for that. So yes, there you go.
Anything more about the photo? The wedding photo? It's a great picture.
Yes. Well, one thing I noticed when the whole family's standing there, I think this is really, genius on Francis Ford Coppola's part, is that in the wedding scene, we are giving a memorable introduction to, except for Connie, every character. Every character in the story can tell their role from their what they do in the wedding.
Yeah,
Al Pacino's the kind of reserved, like thinking guy. Sonny's the hothead guy. Tom's the sort of voice of reason. Fredo's the drunk, and so on. So
and Carlo, we learned in The Office, he's just going to get a living. He's not going to be included in the family business.
Yeah, Sonny's
interesting.
So that was kind of an interesting way of. It's a good setup,
and it's neat the symbolism of taking a picture at the end of that scene. Is it captures that moment? Like, these are your characters.
Yeah,
and now let's
ladies
see
and
what
gentlemen,
happens.
your cast of The Godfather. So, I guess Connie doesn't really get anything, but she's
Johnny Fontaine is still crying back in the office.
Yeah, Bonasera is all consoling him because he's good at these. That's his job, is to console sad people.
So he's consoling Johnny Fontaine.
Yeah. He's like, "Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss." So you said you had some post-wedding information.
I do. The next minute is going to be the transition of Tom going to Hollywood, and so this is really
Tom Hagen goes to Hollywood.
Wasn't that an Abbott Costello movie? So there are two parts in the book that have scenes that are not in the film that Coppola decided to cut. They're short. This first one is...
Wait. So what you're saying is the book is different than the movie?
That's right.
The book is different than the movie. The book is different than the movie. The book is different. The book is different. The book is different than the movie. Yeah.
All right, sock it to me.
On page 47... Puzo writes a little bit about what happens after the wedding. This first part is about Connie and Carlo.
Uh-oh.
Puzo writes.
We know Puzo gets into some weird stuff with this other relationships.
You never know where Puzo's going to go.
We're going to hear about the size of Carlo's wiener in this one.
Oh, so you read it already? Page 47, Puzo writes, "Clean it up!" No. The wedding day of Connie Corleone ended well for her.
Connie and Carlo Corleone. Although she's not
She's
not Connie Corleone anymore. She'd be Connie
Rizzi. Connie Rizzi.
Okay.
The wedding day of Connie Corleone ended well for her. Carlo Rizzi performed his duties as a bridegroom with skill and vigor, spurred on by the contents of the bride's gift purse, which totaled up to over $20,000.
In small, unmarked bills.
Oh, small bills quiche. I can see them in the bed and Paulie's hand kind of reaching up over the bed, trying to reach the purse. Puzo continues to write, the bride, however, gave up her virginity with a great deal more willingness than she gave up her purse. For the latter, he had to blacken one of her eyes.
Wow. So on the wedding night, he punched her in the... Jeez.
Yeah. And I guess she didn't want to give up the purse. She wanted to, there's no other explanation about it, but it got me wondering about the dynamics of her keeping money, his money. Was she counseled to keep the money by Mama or somebody else?
I can't imagine that Mama would have said, "Listen, don't obey your husband. Hold on to the bridal purse." I'm sure they both would have said.
So it was just Connie on her own,
I
not
guess.
wanting to give it up. Well, wanting to give it up, but not wanting to give it up.
Yeah, totally.
Right?
I guess, yeah. We'll have to...
So this is the beginning of or probably not the beginning, but the history of violence leading up to the scene later.
So how would... I can't help but think that Don Corleone would approve.
That he would approve?
He would approve, because remember what he says to Johnny Fontaine? That he's like, "Oh, we don't want to hit your wife in the face because she's making a movie and she laughs at you." So it was a terrible He laughs at you. He laughs at you. So would he approve? Would he approve of Connie's husband hitting his daughter?
Oh man, we know Sonny would not. because Sonny throughout the book and
Right,
the movie
yeah.
gets pissed that Carlo's beating her up.
Yeah.
And we know Mama says don't interfere when
Yeah.
Carlo is yelling at her or curses her out at the dinner table later. Oh, that's a good one. I'm going to say he would approve.
Yeah.
I'm going to say, he's old school.
I feel like if she was like, oh, what happened? You know, if she came out wearing a black guy, but what's the matter? What is ridiculousness?
Yeah. And Don Corleone had him vetted, so he knows kind of what kind of guy he is.
But he doesn't really trust him with the family business.
Yeah, that's true.
To the point where he says never give him something in the family business.
Yeah. Never.
You know, so he must trust him enough where he allows him in the orbit of the family, but he doesn't trust him enough to actually give him any inside information. You think if he didn't trust him at all, he'd be like, you know, oh, Carlo had a little accident with the, cannoli.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
So what else happened?
Interesting.
What else happened after the wedding?
We're back to one of my favorite characters, Amerigo Bonasera.
The corpse valet.
Yes. So this is after the wedding. Amerigo Bonasera had a terrible nightmare. This is the night of the wedding. In his dreams, he saw Don Corleone in peaked cap, overalls, and heavy gloves, unloading bullet-riddled corpses in front of his funeral parlor and shouting, "Remember, Amerigo, not a word to anyone, and bury them quickly."
Wow.
He groaned so loud and long in his sleep that his wife shook him awake. "Eh, what a man you are," she grumbled, "to have a nightmare only after a wedding."
Wait, to have a nightmare?
Only after a wedding.
Well,
Yeah, and
so he was nervous about
he suspects that he's going to repay this debt, and it won't be pretty.
Again, going back to what we've been discussing about whether or not we would get in with the mob. Like, that's his job, is to take care of bodies. So if I had a job that would be useful to the mafia, I feel like I'd be less inclined to, because, especially if it dealt with like crimes,
But couldn't there be a favor Don Corleone asked you that involved your skill, which is drawing and podcasting, that could lead to some pretty serious consequences?
Well,
like you drawing goofy pictures of Barzini and Tattaglia, and you'd be on their death list.
Oh, I totally want to do the caricature of Tattaglia with the big head. And he'd have like a pimp jacket on. Barzini would be ripping up a photo with his... well, I would draw Barzini and then he would rip it up.
And Barzini would have a shirt with communism, and then a negatory bracket, and for like no communism.
Totally. Every reference in the...
Mo Green. What would Mo Green look like? You're drawing of Mo Green.
Oh, well, I have to think it would be... Well, you could do two versions. You could either do a caricature, big head Mo Green, either with his eyes shot out,
on the massage table,
or you could draw big-headed Mo Green slapping Fredo.
Oh yeah,
like a little. It depends on which Mo Green you want to do.
Oh man, doing a character of Fredo, that's probably pretty easy, right?
Yeah, you assume so.
I guess if to capture as much as possible, you'd have to have Mo Green slapping Fredo while he's having sex with cocktail waitresses.
2 at a time.
Yeah. At the entrance to Fredo's Mickey Mouse nightclub.
And you'd have to show a player at a table being like, waitress, because he wants his drink.
Getting a drink, yeah. All right, I want to commission you to do one Godfather drawing.
Oh, I don't know if I should do this, because then I'll be in I'll owe you a favor. So.
I'll have you over for coffee, that's all.
Oh, okay. Put it that way.
But it would be a good challenge for you to see how many characters you could fit in with their iconic lines or scenes all gelled together.
All right, so you have... This is what you
should
have.
we save this for a bonus episode?
Oh, maybe we should save this for a bonus episode. Or at least a moment that has Freddie or Al or him in it.
Let's stick it in a bonus episode.
Yeah. Okay. So
that's interesting. So Bonasera is worried that Corleone's going to, and that happened early in the book, worried that he's going to call on him and use his funeral parlor to hide dead bodies.
Yeah.
Basically to launder dead bodies.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I guess Bonasera believes in America, so he doesn't want to.
He's law-abiding, and he knows he can get into big trouble.
It's funny, all the different stories you could tell. Like, you could do a whole separate story about Bonasera and, like, all the But like Sonny showing up with like 6 bodies and like, don't tell anyone, like all these like, oh, this put upon
Backdoor pilot.
Backdoor.
Yeah.
In this case, literal, because they're bringing in the bodies in the back door.
Oh my gosh. Has there ever been a pilot, a comedy sitcom centered around a funeral home? Too dark. Oh, 6 Feet Under.
Yeah, it was like a comedy. It's more like
done.
Yeah, it's true.
Been done. But it'd be better if Bonasera was the main character, and every time the bodies come in, it's like, every time I try to get out of this business, they bring me more bullet-riddled bodies.
It'd be the kind of thing where like Bonasera's boss was coming, and then he'd have to stuff like all these bodies in the closet and stuff.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Look at what they did to my boy. Did we talk about this? Does Bonasera work for Barzini and Tattaglia? Do they bring him bodies too?
I don't imagine.
No.
Well, I mean,
unless they've done favors for him.
Yeah. I mean, how many times does his daughter get to... I see. No, I don't think so. Because I think if that was true, then he would have taken this problem to Barzini or to... Unless he wasn't satisfied with their service in the past.
Yeah.
He's like, you know what? I asked them to rough up that guy. Like, he's walking around the next day like it's nothing. It's like
come on,
a Larry David mafia. That's it? That's all you did? He's all like ungrateful.
Yeah.
So anything else for minute 27?
No, I do have one other deleted scene that has to do with when they go to visit the previous consigliere.
Genco.
Genco Abandando. But we could say that for the next minute.
Yeah, I say we talk about that. This next minute is very transitional between them just going. So let's say the Genco.
Yeah, there's some interesting stuff.
Yeah, it's our first meaty deleted scene.
And I have an extra special surprise for you for next minute.
What?
Alex.
What is it?
Yeah, for you and our listeners.
What is it?
You'll have to wait till the next episode.
All right. So, so now we have to rate this minute.
Mm-hmm. The iconic photo, you see that in a lot of promotional media for The Godfather.
Yeah, like a still.
But not a lot happens.
Yeah. Other than
Don Corleone dances with Connie. We didn't really talk about that, but that ends the wedding scene.
So technically Marlon Brando is in it.
Yeah, he does. Just say something too.
What does he say in it?
He says, can I finally enjoy my daughter's wedding?
It's true.
I'm going to go 3.
I was just going to say I'm going to give it 3.
Yeah, 3.
Yeah, just so, just they can't all be 5s.
Mm-hmm. I do want to point out it is the pinnacle, I think, of sort of happiness for the family, or
that's true.
Before the Michael Corleone era. It's probably the golden age of the Don Corleone era.
It's the storm clouds are coming. I would say, I guess I would say the Michael Corleone era. I never think of it as being like happy.
Yeah,
because right from the bat, you got Sonny dead. You got there's like family tension,
traitors, the whole war with the other families too.
When things pick up, although I guess that is like 10 years later or something. So,
I mean, you could argue that when they're in Lake Tahoe, that things are stable and they're happy, although not, because then you have all the Hyman Roth stuff.
Yeah, and plus, like, there's all the scenes, the contrast between this scene and that, and the wedding scene versus the communion scene. Is that in this one, Don Corleone is clearly the king. People are coming kowtow to him. He's giving out favors. He likes to do favors. And but in the communion, like he's talking to the politician, Senator Geary's all like, sneering at him. And then you have the Connie all fighting, and her son got picked up in Reno for what was the charge? Do you remember?
For
like auto theft or something?
No, it was a small like shoplifting. I got the impression. Petty theft.
Petty theft. There you go. And then you have Frankie Five Angels coming and being all like, this got me waiting on the lobby. And all that stuff.
It's great that's his complaint you bring up. On Kay too, the problems with Kay.
Yeah, and then Fredo's wife's all drunk, and then don't marry an Italian.
Oh my gosh!
So it's like the same kind of it's a pleasant family thing, but there's like tension underneath it that is like.
It would really stink to be the head of a crime family, having to deal with all this stuff, all this nonsense, right?
Yeah, I think you have to be kind of like built. You have to have that kind of mindset.
Yeah,
I think if you regard it as a pain in the butt, then you won't You wouldn't do it. You'd just be a mid-level. You'd be like a Tessio or a,
Yeah.
So, although you probably also have to. I remember when I worked at a bookstore one time, and they said, "Oh, would you want to consider being a manager?" And I didn't want to be the manager because I was like, if I be the manager, then I'm going to have this job this is the career track to work at the bookstore for the rest of my life, and I didn't want to do that. So I purposely said, "Oh no, you know what? I don't want that." And I think they didn't like that. So I wonder if it's a similar thing where if Don Corleone goes to Tessio and says, "Tessio, I want to give you more things to control." And Tessio's like, "I'm all right, Godfather." Like I don't think you can do that.
I don't know. I don't think you do that. But I also get the impression that everyone in the family and who are in the crews, they all want to move up because you make more money.
Oh yeah, sure.
I don't get the impression that anyone wants to stay a button man or soldier.
Button man, I like that. You're using the lingo.
Yeah.
I think that's probably true.
Because even Tessio, the example you gave, he instead of staying and working for Michael, he tries to move up in the world. Yeah, he was always smarter.
Yeah, and it's probably also an honor thing too, because if you're in the mafia, you don't want to be like the Stugats who's all like, "Oh no, I'll just stay here as a button man." They're like, "Look at that loser." You know what I mean? It's like literally a kill or be killed, dog eat dog.
So, what if you were in the family? At what place would you want to be?
I feel like I'd want to be like a captain, a capo di regime,
capo regime, a Tessio or a
Clemenza, a Frankie Five Angels.
Yeah.
Is Frankie Five Angels under Clemenza, and does he get promoted after Clemenza dies, or were they just equals?
I don't know.
We're gonna have to look when they have that chart showing the whole family
that's
organization. We're gonna look.
In Godfather 2?
Yeah, Godfather 2
during the Senate hearings.
Yeah, the whole hierarchy of people. So
I don't know where Frankie Five Angels, where he comes into play. My impression was he moved up just like the others, and when Clemenza
he took over.
He took his job.
Oh, because he took over the house too, right?
Yeah,
because that was the house that they're in now was Clemenza's house, and then Frank Fantangeli.
Frankie, I was always glad that this house didn't go to strangers, where my children sleep,
play with their toys. All right, so that wraps up minute 27.
Yep.
Hey, guess what? We're on Twitter at Godfather Minute.
Really?
Yeah, Twitter.
Awesome.
It's very modern.
Cool.
And we're very modern. We're cool and with it. So at the Godfather Minute, you can follow us there. And we don't say this enough, but we have an official Godfather Minute T-shirt.
We do.
Which you can get by going to StarWarsMinute.com/merch. We haven't set up it's part of the Star Wars Minute shirt collection, just for the ease of, rather than having to set up a whole separate store for one shirt. So check it out if you want to get a Godfather Minute T-shirt with our classy logo with a kitty cat on it.
Would you say that our podcast, The Godfather Minute, is a spin-off of the Star Wars Minute? Or was it a backdoor pilot?
No.
I
would say it's a
subsidiary.
I'd say it's I'm trying to think of because this is like a solo project, and I'm trying to think of a musical thing where someone's in a band, but then they also have a side band with a different.
It's like Brian Wilson's Smile album.
No, because Brian Wilson was still a part of the. It would be like if Paul McCartney, if the Beatles are still together, but Paul McCartney also had doing Wings albums on the side.
Got it. Yeah,
because it's similar. The only thing I can think of is Genesis, because Phil Collins has his solo thing, but then he's also was at Genesis.
Yeah,
so it's a similar kind of, but not a perfect thing because he wasn't in two different bands.
Yeah,
there must be somebody. If you know, give us a call.
Yeah.
All right, so
that's it then.
And we'll be waiting for your call, but until then, take the gun and leave the cannoli.